Don't you just love when budget tech only refers to the money spent and not the actual sacrifice of quality? Well, I've got a TKL keyboard that seems almost perfect. Almost. So you've seen the Neo65, you've seen the Neo70, and now Neo and QwertyKeys is back with a new TKL that will likely shake the keyboard scene just like its predecessors. This is the Neo80, an aluminum bodied 10 keyless layout mechanical keyboard with a choice of 12 case colors, 10 backweights, and 5 plates. An offering that has almost become to be expected from QK at this point. So what's so special about this one? Let's find out. In the box you get a USB-C cable, a set of Neo stabs as a gift, keycap switch puller combo, and a screwdriver. The 4 choices of mounting styles, including gasket dumbbells, gasket jackets, an O-ring that's 30 duro, and standoffs for sandwich mounting. Not only that, you get a pour-on foam kit. Plate of choice, I got 2 here. One's palm, and the other is FR4. And we get the updated 80% Neo hot swap PCB. There's also choices for solder PCBs, allowing for a plateless configuration, as well as the tri-mode wireless, which I have here, and some wired options as well. And guess what? They support VIA and QMK. Speaking of support, make it a habit of hitting that like button to support the channel. Or let's play a game. Simple, really. If you like the keyboard, go ahead and hit that like button. Or if you like me, you can consider subscribing. Either way, it's a win-win because if you do so, it'll help recommend more videos like this. Appreciate you guys. Now, let's look at this board. I received the new champagne colorway, but you can actually mix and match colors for your top and bottom case. Right off the bat, the gold and bronze aluminum shines reminiscent of a New Year's toast, but not quite as sparkly. The front face is rather simplistic, akin to its other Neo brothers, toting only a small circular RGB similar to the Neo logo, down by the arrow cluster. A quick note that there's no internal weight, but in terms of aesthetic design, where the Neo80 announces its presence is along the side profile. Here we have a clean gradual curve connecting the top and bottom cases. All of the corners for your case are rounded off for comfortable interactions with your hands and wrists, and there's a generally smooth finish across the face of the board. I've expressed varying opinions on understated or minimal keyboard designs in the past, but the Neo line has always had a tasteful way of not doing too much and not doing too little. A lot of which has to do with the anodized color options, subtle elements, and innovative internal choices in my personal opinion. So it's pretty clear that Neo and QwertyKeys kind of know what they're doing in terms of budget and higher range keyboards, especially considering how blurred the lines are getting these days. But with the Neo80, you definitely see some of the newer innovative build decisions of recent times incorporated in, like the catchball system and the magnetic connector PCB and daughter board solution from the QK75N. With these 2 features on the same board, we're really going to be able to speedrun finding our favorite build, aren't we? But back to that catchball system for a little bit. They've actually customized it a bit for the Neo80. The size, the number of balls, and the spring pressure has all been optimized according to QwertyKeys. I was building a board recently with a similar latch structure that I expressed my concerns about the long-term performance and potential of the grip loosening. I find it kind of admirable that Neo and QK address this preemptively by shifting the touch point to one side at a time, ultimately allowing you to have the option to switch sides for the ball if it ever begins to wear out, which should likely increase the lifespan for the long run. And it holds pretty snug, but don't do a shake test because it's not gonna pass. But enough about that, let's hear how it sounds in a couple different configurations, and then recollect on final thoughts, pricing, and if you should grab it or not right after that. Okay, quick disclaimer, I was on a little bit of a time crunch, so the bottom row of switches were not completely lubed, so they definitely sound a little bit crunchier. Though with that aside, as usual, this board sounds exceptional. Something that I was also blown away by in its younger brother, the Neo65. Though I believe it doesn't quite perform as well without foam, at least with tactile switches. I haven't tried any linear switches yet, but the build with the case and the plate foam sounds amazing, and it doesn't sound overly foamed at all. The mounting styles really amp up the customization potential, and really give you a lot of say in how your board sounds and feels. This is such an overarching feature in mechanical keyboards nowadays that it's kind of easy to overlook or even take for granted how possible it is to modify your board these days without having to head to Home Depot, buy a bunch of tape, or random substances to fill your case with. And with the Neo80, it's even more developed with an amazing starting point and multiple mounting styles. It's possibly got the most I've actually ever seen in a board. So for those wondering if this is a good board or not, it's kind of a silly question. Okay, it's not that silly. But after testing it myself and owning a Neo65 for quite some time, I should have expected this to also be a banger. When it comes to mounting styles, like I said, there's a lot to choose from, but I often just find myself always coming back to gasket mount, based off the overall sound and bounciness, especially when I prioritize harder plates like FR4. Didn't notice a huge difference in sound from the two gasket styles, but it sort of felt more open and clean when I was using the dumbbell gaskets. Man, I really do always find my way back, don't I? The flagship Neo65 still holds the budget crown for a lot of people, myself included. The Neo70 had some mixed reviews, but for the real TKL fans out there, the Neo80 really makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. In terms of pricing, the Neo80 starts at $110 for a plateless soldered version. For my specific configuration here is about $140 or $150 before shipping. In my eyes, it's a pretty great value. There will be plenty in stock and pre-order sales from a number of vendors, so I'll provide a link or two down in the description below. So what is this almost perfect I alluded to in the intro? Well, mostly the fact that this board really is still considered a budget option, and QwertyKeys likely has a ton of plans to outdo this board eventually. Kind of a silly reason, right? Well, this video is not sponsored, so I'm not really obligated to say it is perfect. But with that being said, it kind of is perfect in its own little ways. It might be perfect for you. That's really up for you to decide though. I've got enough pressure helping my girl decide what we're gonna eat for lunch. Good for you though. If you like choices, the Neo80 definitely has plenty. I hope this video was helpful in one way or another. I've kind of let you guys know what I think. Now, I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments below. Are you grabbing one right this second? Do you hate this board? Either way, chime in, let us know, man. Once again, my name is Zeke of Zeke Digital. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.